If you want to upgrade your IT skills, head over to Pluralsight. They have the best course material out there. I've been using Pluralsight for a while now, and I really like their way of teaching. Free course material is definitely a great start, but it can make it difficult to find out what you need to be learning in the right order. Using Pluralsight's paths, however, can get you an easy path to follow towards your IT career goals. You can either get a 10-day free trial or a 50% discount on the first month using the links in the video description. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and now on to the video. Hello and welcome everybody, I am Herbert, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can connect your Visual Studio Code to a remote server using SSH. So by default we just have this window over here. We can just open a local folder, or we can clone a repository to clone a GitHub repository onto our Visual Studio Code, but that's not what we want to do. We want to have the possibility to, instead of working locally, we want to work remotely. So how do we go about this? Well, first of all, it's not something that you can do by default in Visual Studio Code. You do need an extension, but luckily Microsoft has provided that extension already. So if I would just type in SSH, I will see the extension over here. So it's called Remote SSH, and of course we're just going to install it. And now that it's installed, we'll see that there are no SSH hosts. Let me close this because it's very distracting. We see that there's no SSH hosts that have been configured yet, and we just have to add one. Now, I already have a server over here, which is right over here. So this is the server that I want to log into, and we want to take note of two things. So first of all, you'll type in "who am I?" to know your username, and you can also find that out by just looking at the name that's to the left of the @ symbol, most likely. And then we're gonna need the IP address. So you just type in IP addr, which is most likely going to be just a command on any Linux distribution. So I'm just using Alma Linux here, but this should also work on things like Ubuntu. So we'll take note of the IP address that has the ETH0 adapter, not the LO, because that's going to be the loopback or the local host address. That's not the one you want. You want to have the ETH0 or whatever adapter you use to connect to the internet. Or if the server is local, you're just going to get the local address of the server over here, whatever the IP address is that you usually connect to SSH to. Now we click the plus symbol and we type in SSH, and then we'll type in our username, which we still remember is Alma Linux, and we do the @, and then we paste our IP address in here. Okay, it's gonna ask us which config file we want to update, and we'll just click the one that we want to update. You can see that I've already got a few folders here. I'll just remove those. And we now want to connect to this machine, right? So this is gonna open a new instance of Visual Studio Code. So we'll just click the plus symbol here with connect to host a new window. And if we open this up, we are indeed connected to our remote machine, and we can see that if we go to Explorer, we'll open the Explorer, and you'll see that instead of asking us for a local folder, it's going to ask us for a remote folder. And we do have a few remote folders here. So I have a folder called projects, and now I have some subfolders here. I will just click bash, for example, and we'll click OK. And so you'll see here on the left, I have a few of my bash shell script files over here. I'll just click them open, and you'll see that whenever I make changes here, if I just do something like test, I'll save that, I can go over to my machine over here, and I can do cat, for example, projects, bash, and then what was the name of the file again? I forgot. It's guessnum. There we go. And this also is automatically replicated here. And now you can also, for example, you can just run a new terminal, and this will open up the terminal in your current remote session, and we can actually just run commands from here. So you'll see that it will open the directory that we're working in right now, and we can do that by doing pwd, and you'll see that this is actually the directory that we're running in right now. And right now we can also have a look at, for example, if we do ll, we'll see that this guess number game that I wrote is executable, and we can also just run everything from here. So I'll do guessnum.sh, and now we have to play the game. So let's guess a few guess a few numbers. Oh, there we go. It was number 1. And so as you can see, the terminal just works like any other terminal, and it's just easy to have the terminal with you rather than having a separate terminal. Like you can have like Super Putty over here, but then you always have to code over here and go back to Super Putty. It's just easy that you have that terminal window over here. And also we can go ahead and do like, if we do Control-Shift-P, we can select Python interpreter, and we can definitely also select for Python, for example, if we have the Python extension installed, which we do, by the way, we can select the interpreter. As you can see, I have a few interpreters here. These are a few of my Conda environments, which I can select if I want to run Python anywhere else. So if I would be running, for example, a Python script, so I could do something like this. I could do a open folder, and I could go into like Python. Okay. I think I have this test.py file open, which is just a hello world. If we do Control P and we can just select a different Python interpreter. As you can see, I have like Python 9.12, 9.7, 9.5. Now we can select a different interpreter from the remote server. And when we run it now, you'll see that it uses a different interpreter to run our Python script. So that's about it, guys. It's as easy as that. Just downloading the extension, connecting to your remote server, and then just start coding away. So I hope this video helped you out, guys, and if it did, please leave a like and a comment below. And if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.